In 1999, as Real Madrid faced Olympiacos, a new unfamiliar name was called to defend their goal. At just 18 years of age, he was the youngest ever goalkeeper to be called up for a Champions League match. That day, he would concede 3 times, which was not representative of his future, as he would turn out to be the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets ever in the Champions League. His name was Iker Casillas. For the rest of that season, he would cement his place as Real Madrid's #1 goalkeeper, maintaining clean sheets against the likes of Bayern Munich, Man United, and Barcelona, as Real Madrid headed for the Champions League final, where they would beat Valencia 3-0 as Casillas took home his first Champions League trophy in his first professional season. The next season, he would win La Liga for the first time in his career, although Real Madrid would lose the Intercontinental Cup and the European Super Cup. The 2001-2002 season would be a very interesting one, as after having a strong first half to the season, Casillas would lose his spot in the starting lineup. After being benched for several matches, he would have to come on to replace Cesar Sanchez, who got injured during the Champions League final. In this match, Casillas would once again prove his worth, as he would make several key saves which would save Real Madrid and lead them to another Champions League trophy. This would be followed by his first participation in a competitive international tournament for Spain, despite him being an unused substitute in the Euro 2000. In this tournament, he was only meant to be the second choice goalkeeper, but Canizares would be involved in a crazy accident. As Canizares shaved his beard in his hotel room, he would unintentionally smash the aftershave bottle, which would lead to several shards of glass falling into the ground, which might seem okay, except that one of them would fall onto his bare feet and cut one of his tendons, ruling him unfit to take part in the tournament. This might have seemed very unlucky for Spain, but Casillas would prove them wrong, as he would first save 3 penalties in their match against the Republic of Ireland, and then make what FIFA has deemed as one of the top 10 best ever saves against South Korea. This tournament, though cut short after their defeat to South Korea on penalties, earned Casillas his nickname, Sant Iker. Back in Madrid, Casillas would capitalize on the preseason competitions and win both the European Super Cup and the Intercontinental Cup, as well as La Liga. The next few years would be pretty unremarkable, with a standout moment being his participation in the Euro 2004, where he would go out on the group stage as Portugal and Greece took the top spots, as they would both make it to the final. By 2006, things would start to look good once again, with Casillas taking part in the World Cup once again, even captaining the squad in 2 of the matches despite their early exits. This would be followed by a decent season where Real Madrid would win La Liga after 3 unfruitful years. Despite them disappointing in the Champions League once again, Real would revalidate their La Liga title, before Casillas would once again leave for an international tournament at the Euro 2008. There, Spain would get an easy group draw where they would win all matches. In the knockout stage, Casillas would be immense, not conceding a single goal and even saving 2 penalties against Italy, those being taken by Di Natale and De Rossi. Truly an amazing performance that would help Spain earn their first European Championship in 44 years, and that would earn Casillas a 4th place in the Ballon d'Or, only behind Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi and Fernando Torres. With Spain assembling one of the best ever national teams, Casillas' club career would lose the spotlight to his international accomplishments, especially when you take into account that part of the reason this team was so good was due to the flow of Spanish talent coming from Real Madrid rivals Barcelona, not to dismiss players like Sergio Ramos and Casillas himself, who were also massive for the national team. Over the next few years, Real Madrid would assemble an amazing team, signing Ronaldo, Benzema and Kaká to try and counter Barcelona's dominance. At first, it wouldn't be too effective, with Casillas' main accomplishment coming in 2010 in the South Africa World Cup. This tournament would follow a very similar path to the Euro 2008, with Spain easily going through with an easy group stage draw and then winning every game of the knockout stage in minimal margin, with their success being heavily linked to Casillas once again, who would manage to not concede a single goal throughout the knockout stages despite facing Germany and the Netherlands, and even saving a penalty against Paraguay in the quarterfinals. In this tournament, Casillas would tie the record for the least goals ever conceded in a winning tournament. The next few years, things would start to look up for Real Madrid, with them making the semi-finals of the Champions League several times and winning the Copa del Rey twice, as well as winning La Liga in 2011-2012. But once again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record. The Spanish national team would outshine Real Madrid in Casillas' career, as he would take part in the Euro 2012. The tournament would come to notoriety at its start due to the tension observed in the locker room between Barcelona and Real Madrid players. Casillas would take a fundamental role in easing this tension and would be heavily praised by the media for this accomplishment, which only looked even more significant as Spain would go on to win the tournament once again, becoming the only ever team to win 3 consecutive major international tournaments. Once again, Casillas would be incredible, a titan between the posts, not conceding a single goal during the knockouts and only one throughout the whole tournament, even saving a penalty against Portugal, who was arguably the toughest team to beat that year, breaking the records for most minutes without conceding, most clean sheets in the tournament, and least conceded in a tournament. Just wow. After this tournament, due to problems with Mourinho, Casillas was temporarily dropped in favor of Antonio Adan, and to make matters worse, after regaining his spot on the team, he would go through a serious injury and Real would sign Diego Lopes to replace him. After 238 days, he would make his first start back from injury, but it would only be 15 minutes before he got injured once again and had to leave. It would be on and off for the rest of the season, only playing the most important matches. Despite his lack of fitness, it would be incredible and lead Real Madrid to another Copa del Rey as well as to another Champions League final, where Real Madrid would start by conceding in the 36th minute, and it wouldn't be until the 93rd before they equalized through Sergio Ramos. This would demoralize Athletic when Real Madrid would hammer them 4-1 in extra time as they conquered La Décima. Casillas would stay for one more season at Real, reaffirming himself as the #1 goalkeeper even as Keylor Navas was signed to replace him. He would win the European Super Cup and the Club World Cup that season, although the remainder of the season wouldn't see him win any more trophies. After this season, he left for Porto, in a controversial move as people accused Real Madrid of not giving him a proper send-off to the club legend, with his parents telling the media that he was being pushed off the club and several players criticizing Real Madrid's behavior. At Porto, he would enjoy some quieter time as he battled to regain the Portuguese title, as Porto faced a less successful period. It would finally win the league by 2018. The following season would go by smoothly until on the 1st of May of 2019 he would suffer a heart attack during a training session. He was discharged from the hospital a few days later and proceeded to play one last season, only training with the squad as he strived to try and play one last game. Porto fans would be much more kind to the legend, cheering him on through his recovery and even starting an hashtag as they wanted him to play one last game in the 2019-2020 season so that he could be awarded the title of Portuguese champion once again. Regardless, this would not happen, probably because it would be a risk to the player's health. Just a few days before the making of this video, Iker Casillas announced his retirement, and as someone who was born in Porto, we were honored to have sent Iker defending the unvanquished city. Iker was one of the most consistent and well-rounded goalkeepers of all time. He didn't really lack in any aspect of his game, with a contained personality but known to be a strong presence in the locker room. He was feared by strikers for decades and will continue to be a name to remember. Getting into our ranking system, first I'd like to remind you all that goalkeeping is really not my positioning, which was probably the main source of his consistency, easily a 10 out of 10. Third attribute is communication. It was always great, especially with Ramos. The duo was invincible. He gets a 9 out of 10. Fourth is short prediction. He was spectacular at reading the attacker's movements. He gets a 10 out of 10. Lastly, mentality, very calm and collected. His tough personality might have caused him some trouble, though he gets a 9 out of 10. When it comes to legacy, we will take into account his consistency. Great both at club level and internationally, but lacking playing time for another big club, I can only give him an 8 out of 10. When it comes to Flair, as a goalkeeper it's hard to be great in this subject, but Iker definitely was more of the reliable type. He gets a 6 out of 10. His trophy cabinet was immaculate, only issue is that he pretty much never left Real Madrid and he faced great competition from Barcelona, so he can only get a 9 out of factor. Perhaps because of how consistent and reserved he was, I don't think he holds as much of a legend status as he could have. He gets a 7 out of 10. This totals out to 84 out of 100, which leaves Casillas just 1 point under Buffon. I'd say it's right, though I was always a bigger fan of Buffon. Casillas had the more success when it came to the major trophies, so he definitely earned the right to be in this discussion. This was Casillas' career in a video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next week.